So, G Money, Jeremy Lin had a bad game today. I suppose you believe this whole thing's a failure already?
Like I said from the beginning, all right, I'll change it. He's a decent backup point guard. How about that?
Oh boy, you're gonna upset a lot of our viewers. Let's run the fast break. This is your Jeremy Lin week in review. His first week as a Net is complete in the regular season anyway. G Money, we had 3 games this week. I know it's not a huge sample size, but Jeremy Lin putting up 17 points a game, 7.3 assists, 5 rebounds, about 2.5 turnovers. The Nets won 1 out of the 3 games, but they had a shot to win every single game. They're 1-2 right now. Give me your initial impressions of JLin's tenure as a Net so far.
He's been decent, but I like to talk about the Nets as a whole because I'm a team player. I like to talk about the team and not just one guy, right? I know everybody loves Jeremy Lin. I know everybody is following Jeremy Lin. They have the message boards going. Brooklyn Nets as a team, I believe, look pretty good right now. Now I know they lost 2 out of 3 so far, but tonight's game was pretty, and they were down in all 3 games. So let's be honest, they're not like clicking on all cylinders yet. But the first game they were down, they almost pulled it out. The second game, obviously, they came back and won that one against Indiana. And tonight it was just a buzzer beater by John Henson that lost it for them in Milwaukee. So overall, the impressions of the Nets team, I give a solid C plus right now.
Okay, let's be honest. No one really cares what you have to say about the Nets. Although I will say I've been pleasantly surprised. Trevor Booker, I thought he was a decent player. He's shown to be athletic. He's got some moves. Brook Lopez didn't play today. We got to factor that in. They probably maybe could have won if he played. Bogdanovich has stepped up. He had 1 bad game. They do have some pieces. But Jeremy Lin specifically, that's what we're here to talk about. What grade would you give him through the first 3 games?
I want to make everybody happy, and I think that he deserves a solid B minus. How about that?
B minus.
Yeah, because
let me read that to you again. 17 points a game, 7.3 assists, 5 boards, 2.5 turnovers. That's a B minus. I mean, are you? I know we're Asian, but
no. Let's be honest, because that was from 1 good game. All right, he had a good game against Indiana, and they won. We need Jeremy Lin to play good to win. Brooklyn needs Jeremy Lin to play good to win. Now, when he doesn't play good, they lose, which they did the other 2 games. So, I mean, for that average, it's a good average. But let's be honest, he had 1 really good game to bump up that average.
Well, but the play itself, I mean, I've been very impressed by how much he's improved his game. The jump shot looks a lot smoother. There's less of a hitch. He gets a little more arc on it, gets a little higher off the ground. He's still penetrating. The pick and roll's working nicely. They don't run that all the time, but when they do, he seems to find the open man, whether it's Brook Lopez or one of the bigs. I like the passing. The shooting has been pretty good up until today, but you do have to take into account that today was a back-to-back. So he played yesterday, almost put up a triple-double, 21, 9, and 9 in the victory over Indiana. So you figure, flying to Milwaukee, playing the next day, he's probably going to have some tired legs, and maybe you should expect a poor shooting night.
But this is the NBA, so you got to be ready for all that. And the other players played pretty well. I mean, Bogdanovich, I'm happy that he got off his feet and played a good game. You mentioned Anthony Bennett finally showed some, what he can do a little bit in this game as well. So I'm excited to see him play. And they got some youngsters. Kilpatrick still playing solidly. So this Nets team is looking pretty good, pretty decent so far.
Kilpatrick reminds me of like a Lance Stevenson type. The guy, he's got some handles. He's got the fancy crossovers. He's the guy that does a little shimmy when he hits a shot, but he's the guy that'll drive you crazy because he'll probably do a lot of foolish things on the court too.
Kilpatrick, yes. Kilpatrick has been very solid. I mean, he was solid last year also. So, I mean, he's just going to improve on I think he's just going to get better and better as the season goes along.
Let's go through some reader comments real quick because we didn't get a chance to respond to them the last time. And G Money, you took some hits. Here's one guy's 2 weeks ago. Steppin03 made this comment. This new Nets team is 2 to 3 pieces away from title contender after they grab 45 plus wins this 2017 season. I believe this Nets team is equal to last year's number 6 Hornets team. Agree or disagree? What do you think?
I would have to. I mean, I'm a big Nets fan, but 45 wins is stretched it just a tad bit. That's like me saying the Golden State Warriors are going to go 82-0, which didn't happen already this season. So the Nets winning 45 games, I think you lose a lot of money if you take that bet.
Well, let's go through another reader comment. Steppin03 says, my bold prediction, Nets is Eastern Conference 2nd seed, otherwise 3rd or 4th seed, 45 to 55 wins, then 13-7 in the first 20 games. That's bold.
No, wait, is this the same guy that said they were going to win 45 games?
Yes.
Because I don't think anybody would pick the Nets to win 55 games. All right, 45 is already stretching it, so I don't know about 55.
Yeah, I'm thinking more along like 25. Is that reasonable?
I would say the ESPN probably got it right this season when they said 21 wins. So I'm going to stick with about 21 to 25 wins.
All right, let's go through one more reader comment. It's from Steppin03. With JLin at the driver's seat, the Nets will be on the right path in no time. Star player can make a team great, and Lin is that spark. There'll be no more excuses. 25 points, 8 assists for most nights.
So he's going to average 25 and 8. Now, that is also a stretch. I don't know. This is I sincerely think that this person is a Donald Trump supporter, because Donald Trump likes to exaggerate sometimes, right? And this person is definitely exaggerating to the 10th degree. I mean, obviously, JLin, if I had to put a number on it, I think JLin will probably average 15 points and 8 assists. How about that? I'll give him that for the season.
I'm thinking 17 points, 7 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 1.2 steals. I would sign up for that right now.
That's if he stays healthy the whole season. Personally, I don't think he'll stay
healthy.
I don't think he'll stay healthy the whole season anyway. So, I think.
Well, his track record's been pretty good. No,
he's gotten banged up here and there. If you see him play, he usually gets banged up during the game as well. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he misses a few games this season.
Well, what about his game? I mean, you've been watching some of these games. What's been your big takeaways? Is he pretty much he's been a lot more solid than I thought. So far, it seems like he's capable for the job.
Overall, I think JLin is penetrating more. He's dishing out to try to find the open guy. He has good court vision. I'll give him that. So far, like I said, he's a solid B- at this point, and he's got room to improve.
I got to give him a B+ or maybe a B/B+. I'll tell you what I really like. I like to see that there's it seems like there's a lot of team chemistry here. People are happy. They like playing with each other. And maybe it's because this team's made up with a lot of players who probably wouldn't get a lot of playing time if they're on solid teams. Maybe that's why they're happy. They're actually getting some playing time. But I like the team chemistry. I like the team attitude. I don't see a lot of egos, but let's be real. There's not a lot of there's not enough talent in most of these guys to be having big egos at this point. But I'll say they're more fun to watch than I thought they'd be 3 games in.
Well, I mean, that's all you can hope for as a Nets fan. I mean, if you've gone through the last few seasons in Brooklyn, I mean, it wasn't pretty. I mean, they had high expectations and they just underachieved. That's the bottom line. So now you have low expectations, and hopefully they'll overachieve.
All right. Any other final thoughts before we go?
I think I'm all thought out.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your comments. So please subscribe, watch our last video, and we'll catch you next time on The Fast Break. Peace.
Well, this is the story about that one time I challenged Simone Biles. This was about 2.5 years ago. She showed up